Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Mrs. Artisan Designs. If I said that right, Mrs. Artisan Designs. And you will find me on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Yeah, they three. I hope you're all well. I'm doing okay. And I'm here to show you my next LavenderBlu design theme kit. This time I've used 3 different kits. I'll tell you just now, the newest kit is Botanist Attic Papers and Ephemera, Herb Tags and Labels, Shabby Butterflies Papers and Ephemera. And you will find LavenderBlu on Facebook, TikTok, Etsy, I can't remember the other ones, but you'll find her on different things. But I've just absolutely loved working with these 3 kits, and I have made myself a nice size journal for taking to Shetland with me when I go in June, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I thought I would just give you a wee flip through of what I've done. I've put one of the covers photos on the front. It's absolutely beautiful. I just really love this kit. Okay, front and back I have just put these wee clear pockets, and they've got the same but different colours. They're just wee tags of different sizes. Haven't punched the holes in them because I thought they would just be nice to pick out. And I just absolutely loved this page and thought it would be perfect to make it my first one. It's absolutely beautiful, and I've stuck a wee butterfly on. And I've also double-sided printed my papers. I've either used papers from LavenderBlu or papers that I've got from Creative Fabrica. But I will tell you, and I believe this one is a LavenderBlu paper that I've thingied on the back. And here I've got a decorated envelope, although you wouldn't know it from that side. I've just put one of the wee labels on, stuck that on, and then and on this side you could write on. And isn't this beautiful? This is one of a few of the different large journal cards. And I've just put coffee dyed paper on the back, a wee label for top, and I've used a Tracy Fox label. But isn't that just absolutely beautiful? I'm gutted this bit wasn't an envelope, a window one, because I'd love for it to be seen. And here I've got one of the pockets that comes with the kit, and this also label comes with it. And then I've just put a couple of the pieces onto, used one of the papers from the kit, and I've used the back, but that backing comes from LavenderBlu as well within the kit. And this is just pieces that I've picked from the Ephemera, and there's lots of it. And this is just another wee Tracy Fox label. The reason why I've used these labels with this kit is because it goes well with the theme. And then I've just put a little tab on the side using, I think it's a letter from LavenderBlu, and this is the paper that's the backing from LavenderBlu that I've used. And I've also used some coffee dyed paper. And on here I've used one of the wee pictures that you could use for anything, and I've just done it as a side tag. And then I've just put, this paper is from the 1800s that you can see on the sides. And I've just used a bit of one of the papers that I thought was beautiful. And then I've just thingied it with that yellow paper again. And I've just used some 1mm string to punch the hole. This is another page that I really like. I just love the colours of it, and this beautiful. I can't remember if this comes from the Shabby Butterflies or the Botanist Attic. But honestly, the Botanist Attic is just a wee kit. Using all 3 of them gives you, you're able to make something a lot bigger journal from it. Let me just turn this over. And here I've got a belly band. Now they're only about maybe about that size. I've doubled them up, and then I've used one of the labels to cover it over, and then I've just cut out one of the greenery that comes with it. And this is another one of the beautiful bigger journal cards, and I've just coffee dyed paper, and that's a paper. I've backed that one with a paper from Creative. No, it's not. It's from LavenderBlu. Oh, what's the name of the paper again? Let me just check, sorry. Let me just get back. It is from the Coloured Ledger pages. And this is this old paper, and I've just kind of folded it over because it was too wide, and I've made like a small side tuck, but I've attached it to a pocket because it was really like long. And then you get these wee bingo cards, and then I've just put a wee tab on the top and then just coffee dyed it. And this is another one of these beautiful big journal cards. Absolutely love the colours of that, and I've just added a wee label, and they just sit in there like that. I've made this one more, not so much a writing journal, because I know I'm going to be going out and doing a lots of things, so it's for putting like pictures in and anything that I get. And here is another one of these beautiful pockets that come with the kit, and then just got wee tag that comes, and I've just double coffee dyed them, wee fabric tabbing that, and then I've just decorated that with that one with a big rose, and then the butterfly, and then a wee label from Tracy Fox. The LavenderBlu kits are absolutely beautiful. Okay, and now we come to this beautiful page. Isn't the purples and greens and golds absolutely beautiful? You get these wee like tickets. This one's a single one, so I've just thingied it over and used it as a tab. And this is a decorated paper clip that I've done. I've just found two pieces the same, put the paper clip in, glued, and then back the other side. And in these wee pockets, there's two wee, this is from the herb tags and labels kit, and this is from the Shabby butterflies, I'm sure, and I've just backed them so I can write something briefly on them. And I will put this back together once I've done my video, and then we turn over. Oh, this is oh dear, what's happened there? It should be sitting like that. And then here's another one of the lovely pages, and another one of those bingo cards, and I'm just going to move things out the way to let you see. And I've just used that as a side tuck. And this is one of the papers from the Botanist attic, and I've just done a wee tab, and I've put some coffee dyed paper, and then just a wee label, and then a wee wax seal with the picture. I absolutely love this kit. I think this is one of my favourite kits. And again, there's just that other side of the double page. I put some A4 foolscap paper in, and I folded it up because it's just a bit too long, so I've put a wee tab that you can pull down, and you can always fold it up like that way to write, or fold it that way if you're wanting to write on that side. I just thought that was a wee bit different. And then here we've got another beautiful page, and on this side we've got another one of those pockets, and I'm sure that's one of the letters from LavenderBlu, vintage letters that you'll find on Etsy and probably on her site as well. But I'll put them all in the description box. And this is just two of the wee smaller journal cards that you get from the kit. And I've just added a wee label just because I felt they were perfect. These labels are Tracy Fox's field note labels. You'll find her on Etsy as well, and they're just coffee dyed. And here I've went and done, I misprinted a wee bit, so I thought I'll make a pull out with one of the papers, and then I've used like the backing, and that's one of the vintage, I think that one's from Creative Fabrica. And in here I have just got one tall tag. Absolutely love the paper. I used a wee bit of the old book page just to set that off, and that's from the herb tags and labels. And then I've just, that's one of the coloured ledger papers that I've went and backed that with. And let me just put this back in. It's always nerve-wracking putting things back in when you're on camera. And here's just a book page that I've put in. I think this is about the 1900s, but I can't remember the dates. And this is just like a wee photo frame that comes with the Botanist kit. And I've just put one of the wee butterflies in. And here is a pocket that you can either do it the way that I've got going over the page, or you can just put that against the other side of that, and then you would have two pockets and you could stick it on one page, but I like round the page. And in here I've just got a bigger journal card and one of the wee ones from the herb tags and labels. It's beautiful, this pocket, but wait till you see the page. And then on this side I've just done another tall thin tag in the pink ledger paper, and I've just put a label on, and then some of the ephemera from the kit. I'll need to fix that. And that just slides in there like that. And here is one of the other pages, and I've backed that with music paper from Creative Fabrica. It's vintage, and this is just one of the labels that comes in the kit, and I've just made it into a top tuck. Here's more coffee dyed paper, and I've got another pull out here, but I didn't have enough room at the side to put the tab, so I've put it at the top. But this isn't one to it's not opened, it's just all glued together. It's a one that's from LavenderBlu, or vintage letters, and I've just made it into like a flip out. And in here I've got another one of those wee bingo cards that I've made into a top loading pocket that I've still to make something for. Here was me thinking I'd finished, and here is the lined paper again. And here I've got another envelope, and I've just used one of the beautiful papers and stuck one of the labels on, coffee dyed the other side. And in here I have, if I can get it to come out, here we go. It's a tag that I've made. Well, it's a big journal card actually with the vintage book page, and then I've just put a bit of one of the papers that I had left, and I've put one of the butterflies, a wee tag, and then just a wee tiny label, and that can slide in and out of there. All right. And then here we've got another one of the pages, and this is one of the labels, and I've made that into a side loading tuck. And on this side it was a misprint, so I've just folded it over and made it into a side tuck. And here is another one of the beautiful large junk, oh goodness sake, one of these large journal cards, and I've just used a bit of the ledger paper to top. It's absolutely beautiful. I really do love this kit. Fiona, if you're watching, it's absolutely beautiful. And again, here I've made another wee side tuck, and I like the way how you got one, then you get two, and then in here I have made quite a big tag, and then I have put coffee dyed paper on the back. I'm going to punch a hole in there, and here's one of the wee labels with some of the ephemera, and another wee label, and that just slides in there like that. And on this side I've got a side tuck, and I have made a really I have made a journaling spot, and I absolutely love this. I think this is my favourite thing that I've made in the whole kit. It's absolutely beautiful, and then you can even write on that side as well, and I've just put that in a side tuck. And then I can't remember, but I think that's a Creative Fabrica paper I've backed that with, I think. And this is the actual first page that came with the book. I couldn't waste it. It wasn't it was in really good condition. So I've just put a wee tab and I've added a wee stamp that comes with the kit. Got another one of the beautiful pockets, and you can see the book is that I'm using is from 1912. And we've just got another one of the smaller journal cards and one of the tags in there. And on this side, I've reversed the tab so it looks the same. And we've got quite a deep side tuck in here. And I have made another journaling spot for this one. And I've just used one of the smaller journal cards with one of the wax seals. And I've just put a wee label on the back. And in here, I've just got a wee collection of the journal cards that comes with the kit. You can write on that side and the reverse in that one. You can write on that or put something on and write in the back. And you can write in back in the wee one. And I've just put them through a wee bulb ring. Well, I quite like the way that one sits over actually. And then on the other side of this pocket, we've got another tall tag. And we've just used some things from the kits, the paper and the ephemera. And I've added a wee label. And here's another beautiful page. I've tried to leave these sides alone so that I can put like pictures and things on. And in here, I don't need to worry about that. I've just got a wee bottom loaded up with one of the labels it comes with. And then more coffee dyed paper. And here's this beautiful pink paper with the butterflies. This is from the Shabby butterflies. And I just loved that was left. And I've just made a decorative tag and I've just put a wee label on. And I've just shoved that in with a wee tag in there. And then here is vintage music paper that I've got, and it was quite long, so I've just folded it up and made it into a pocket. Sorry, it's just I've made some of these things in the last 24 hours, so they'll still be settling in. So here's just some of the wee tags from the herb tags and labels, and I've made a big journal card. And I've put quite a big tab on the top, and again the picture frame, and I've just added some elements just to make it look a wee bit different. And then I've just decorated some of the pockets with different papers and some of the ephemera, and then that's a small tab. Don't look at the state of my folding because it's not very straight at all. I'm not great at folding. And I just love this page. This page you could write on and use this for putting stuff on. And then I've just backed it with a letter again. And here I've got another side tuck. And I've just decorated it. And then this is into the centre of the first section. And I've just put a wee tab on the top of this side. So this is us now seeing the reverse of the first page. And I've just decorated it with putting one of the wee labels on top of the picture frame. And here we've got a window pocket. And I have just one of the big journal cards. And I have just put a wee tab on the top and a wee label. It didn't need much else because it's absolutely beautiful. And this is the other side of the envelope. And we've got one of the herb tags on here. And then I have made another decorative tag, and I've just added a wee label, sorry, excuse my words, and I've just put a wee bit of string through that. And on this side we have got a side tuck using the greenhouse pass, And then we've just got the big journal card and the small tag in their writable in the side tuck. And then on the other side we've got another one of the pockets, and I have made 2 journal cards to go in this. I've just used some of the weird elements and added a label and a tab, and I've just put a wee tiny label because I think this page is beautiful alone. I've added the butterfly and the stamp, and I've added the tab to the side so that I wasn't hitting the flowers, and I've just decorated with a wee stamp on the front of the pocket. And here we've got another bottom tab that goes onto this page. Isn't this page beautiful with the book and the flowers coming out? And this is again another decorated tag, and it's just the envelope's just slightly different, but it's got the same things inside as the first one. And we've got coffee dyed paper and another one of these pockets, and I felt the blue label really suited this, and I liked it on the green. And in this one I've made 2 different side of tags, and they've both been backed with coffee dyed paper. One's got a tab and the other one's got string through it. And then I've just used some of the elements like the butterflies, and then I've just added the wee labels on the top. And this is one of the green coloured ledger papers, and we've got a top tab. And this is one of the papers from the kit, I'm sure, and I've just used one of the butterfly images and made it into a bottom side tuck. And we've got one of the slightly bigger journal cards, and I've just put a wee tab on the top, and that just fits in here. And here I've done a belly band, and I've made it quite decorative, and I've used that old book page and some of the paper from the kit, and I've just decorated it. And again we've got this big beautiful journal card again, and it's coffee dyed paper with the fabric tab, and then I've just used a wee bit of the book page and add a wee quote, and it just gives it a nice element, and that slides in there. And on the back we've got another pocket, and I've put a wee botanical label description on the page as well. And in here we've just got 2 of the smaller kind of journal cards, and they've both got the same things on, so I'll need to move them about. I'm going to leave them in there. And in here we've got a smaller page that I've just made into a pocket, and I've done 2 bigger tags. This one I've just made a decorative with just a wee label and coffee dyed paper, and that's the yellow paper. And I've just used some of the elements, and as you can see I'm not very good at putting things on straight, but it wouldn't be me otherwise if I didn't. Okay, let me just slide these back in. And on the other side I've just used a couple of the herb labels and a butterfly to decorate. And here I've done the pocket the other way this time, and I've got the actual top loading pocket, and I've got 2 tags, one thin and one wider, and they've both got coffee dyed paper, and they've just been decorated with some of the pieces from the kit. I'll get them to slide back in there. Then on the other side we've got the corner pocket, and we've just got 2 wee tags, journal cards. Can write on. In fact, I can swap one of them about with right, they 2 can go in together. Sorry, just let me put these back in, and these 2 can go in together. Okay, so that's that corner page, and we're back to the yellow paper, and I've just got a side tab. And isn't that paper beautiful as well with the text at the top? Absolutely love, love, love. And then this is one of the other pages, and then I've just made this a slight small side pocket. And here we've got the envelope, and this is the window side, and I've just decorated with some elements and papers And let me get this out. And it's one of the other bigger journal cards, and I've just put a wee label and a tab on that, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I've got it sitting just so that you can see the flower. That's nice. And here I've got another pull out using that beautiful paper, and I've just used some washi tape just to hold, because that's going to be like that. And initially I've got that should be glued actually. I think I've pulled that off. Oh dear. Okay, well, it's a top loading side pocket, and I've used one of the wee bingo cards, and I've just put a tab on the top in coffee dyed paper. And then I've got a bottom tag, and in this big pocket I have got another 2 big tags, just using that one's a decorative one, but they're both decorative ones. Oh, just excuse me a minute, I think I need to tighten my good mysterious me. This is going to be a long flip through, I think. This keeps happening to me. And that's just one of the vintage letters from LavenderBlu that I've used to do this. Right, let's get, I'll put them back in after. I know roughly where they're to go. And then this is the other side of that pocket. And we've got a tall, thin tag using one of the beautiful bits of the beautiful papers, and I've just added a tab and one of the wee stamps and beautiful coffee dyed paper. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'll see if I can actually get them to go in this way. Excuse me a minute, this is frustrating. And then I've just got a wee bottom tuck here that you can put something in, and then coffee dyed paper. And then another pocket with that musical paper. And in this one I have just made a wee journal card using coffee dyed paper and some of the elements from the kit. And I felt it fitted beautifully in there. And then on this page, it's green and purple, it's lovely. I've just done another one of these wee labels or images, and I've just done a side tuck for that one. And on here we've got another round the page pocket, and on this side I've just decorated with paper and then used some, that's a really small journal card, the butterfly and the wax seal. And this one I've just made using a bit of one of the papers, put a tab on and just put a butterfly and coffee dyed paper on the back. And then on this side we have got absolutely beautiful, and the butterfly stands out, and I've just added a tab and a wee label, and then I've just used coffee dyed paper at the back, and then you can write on this side. And then on this side we've got another side tuck, and that's a beautiful rose. I just love that image. And then on this side we have a pocket that I've just decorated, and this is another journaling spot that I've just put one of the images on, and I've just stuck 2 things inside, and you can write on there, and you can even write on the back. And then I've just added a wee label. And this is one of the other tickets that you get in the kit. It comes as 2 that I've just decorated the page and made it a tab. And this is the other side of one of those pages. It's beautiful. And then this is the A4 paper again, and you can pull that down. Oh, I think I've passed the first. I think I'm now on the second section. I've just used another one of those images and I've done a top loading tuck. And then we've got more coffee dyed paper, and this is paper from Creative Fabrica that's absolutely beautiful. I've just added a wee side tuck, and again another one of these images on that beautiful paper, and it's a side tuck. And then again on this vintage really old paper, I have made this side into a side tuck, and then I've made a pocket as well using the coloured ledger paper and then papers from the kit, and then I've just added a few things. And this is another big tag that I've made, and I've added another one of those blue labels, and then you've got the beautiful big butterfly, and then I've just coffee dyed paper, used some of my coffee dyed paper for the back of that, and then that just fits in there nicely. And then on this side we've got another one of those pockets with the pink butterflies, and I've just added a bit of a green leaf image. And in here I have made another tag, and I've used one of the bingo cards, one bit that I had left over paper, and then I've used that really old paper and then just put that round the side and then coffee dyed and put a tab on. And then here we've got another pocket that comes with the kit, and you can see that's that beautiful rose. And on here I have got a wee small tag that you can write on the back. You can put something on there or right there, right in the back, put something there or right there, and then right in the back. And then we've got this bigger tag. I've just used one of the images and then one of the labels, and I have just put some string through there, and I've put the bulb ring through there as well, and that sits in there lovely. And then we come over to this page, and we've just decorated with one of the herb labels and then one of the butterflies. And then on this coffee dyed paper we've just put a top tab, and then this is this beautiful yellow paper again, and it's the beautiful pink paper with the writing and then the flowers and the pink butterfly. So I've used the rose small journal card, and I've made a top loading tuck. And here I've got another envelope, and it's a window one, and on this side I've put decorative paper, but you could write on there as well. And in this one I've made another journal card using one of the bigger journal cards that I've cut down, and then I've just added a wee stamp, a tab, and then a wee label, and then I've put coffee dyed paper on the back, and that just sits in there lovely. You could put more in there. I'm not wanting to overload it too much, so that I can have it closed for when I get there. And then you can see I've just decorated with some of the kits, and then we've got the lined page, and then we're on to the last page, and it's another purple paper, and I absolutely love it. And I've just used one of the bigger journal cards as a bottom side tuck, and then we've just got these wee clear pockets, clear wallet or folder pockets. You'll get them on Amazon, and you can see it's just on the front, but just slightly ones that I've used. And I'm just keeping my back like that just now, and that's my journal made for LavenderBlu design team. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'm glad that you've watched this with me, and I will see you all soon.